All right, guys, there's been a lot of people ask questions about the Hagerty situation, and there has been some changes, or not changes. There's been some developments on that front, and we're gonna go over all that. I'm gonna try to answer the questions that were asked to the best of my ability, and then I'm gonna give you an update on where everything has gone and where we stand right now. So hang in there.
I'd say it's a nut job.
All right, so I'm going to start off by trying to answer some of the questions that were asked, and then we'll get to the new developments and where we are toward the end of this. But before I answer the question, I think there's been some misunderstanding and some, definitely some misunderstanding. Let me start off by saying this. Until this point, it may be hard for some people to believe, but till this point, I have never been involved in a traffic accident in my life. I've never been hit. I've never hit anybody. I mean, this is all new to me. The closest thing that's ever happened to me is a few years ago, a deer ran out in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I've never been involved in an actual traffic accident. So I have no idea what should or shouldn't be done. So I think some of the confusion of why I did things may lie in the fact that people automatically think you're supposed to know everything, and sometimes you just don't know. So let me start off with that and then say that we were on Michigan Road in Indianapolis, Indiana. Some of you that are in the area may know what we're talking about. There's a bridge there with a highway. This side is kind of a little high-end part of the state or whatever, where the rich folks live, kind of thing over here, from what I was explained, what was explained to me. And then when you cross under the bridge, this over here is Indianapolis. We were staying in a hotel over here, punching in GPS to go get us a bite to eat or whatever, and where we were going was like 3-4 miles away, and we came out, turned left, went under the bridge into Indianapolis. Again, never been in that area before. We were just following GPS. And when we got into the Indianapolis area, we were rear-ended. Now, here's where some of the confusion starts. People are blowing me up saying, Indiana's not really a no-fault state. You can Google it. You can Google. You can Google till your freaking arms fall off if you want to. Here's our situation. When we were hit, my wife, while I get out to see what's going on, because at this point in time, we don't know what's happened. I just know I've been rear-ended, so I'm getting out of the car to go look and see what happened. My wife immediately calls the police in the area. And the police tell her that Indiana's a no-fault state. We do not come out for traffic accidents. Get their information, call your insurance company, and let the insurance companies deal with it. We don't come out. They would not come out. So you can tell me what Google says all you want to. Here I am as a guy that's never been in this area before, has no idea what's going on, and you call the police and the police goes, we're not coming. We're not going to come out. Now, we pull over. We're going, I don't know if that road runs east, west, north, south, whatever it is. We were going into Indiana out of this, I think it started with a C, like Camelin, something like that. And going into Indianapolis. It's 4 lanes right there. We got rear-ended, so we just turned and pulled into this empty parking lot here. About 2 parking lots down, there's a couple of empty parking lots there where there used to be some, but it's tore down, and then there's an O'Reilly's. So we were real close to an O'Reilly's. I didn't see that till I was trying to tell people where we were located at. So, but that's not important. So we pulled into there, and from this point on, we have everything on video because my wife is kind of videoing what happened, and you can see a lot of that in an earlier video where you see the accident. But I did not put the phone calls in the video. Why? Because I'm giving them personal information that I'd rather not everybody in the world have my personal information. So that part's not in the video. So while we're sitting there, I call the Indiana State Police thinking, okay, well, if the local police won't come out, maybe the state police will. In South Carolina, the Highway Patrol is eager to find a reason to come out. You know what I mean? So I call Indiana State Police. They ask me where I am. I tell them, well, I don't really know because I'm not from this area. The closest thing I see is this O'Reilly's. We're on Michigan Road, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, click. And it's Indiana Police Department, or Indianapolis Police Department or whatever they say. They transfer me right back to the Indianapolis Police Department. Listen, buddy, we've just been involved in an accident, blah, blah, blah. He says, listen, no fault state, we do not come out. This is twice now they have told me that. People are arguing with me about this, but I am going by what the police are telling me at the moment. I have no idea. I'm not going to say, hold on, let me Google and check your facts. And if I did, what are they going to do? Oh, well, excuse me, I guess we'll come out? No, they're not. They're still telling me they're not coming out. So the police, and this is what leads into why I called my insurance company. The police officer I spoke with said the way this, because I told him, I said, I don't even understand what you mean no fault. He said, well, the way, because South Carolina's not. He said, the way this works is you get their information. You call your insurance company with and give them their information, and then your insurance company will deal with their insurance company on your behalf. That's how this works. Okay, again, all still on video here. I call my insurance company, which is Hagerty in this situation. I tell Hagerty what's going on. The guy on the phone says, oh, yes, sir, we deal with this all the time. No fault states, no problem. What happens is you get their information. You give us their information. He used some fancy word. What word did he use? He didn't say we fight for you. We argue for you. He used some fancy word that basically he said we reach out to their insurance company on your behalf and we deal with them. I don't remember the word he used, but he told me they reach out to the insurance company and they deal with them and we don't. Okay, fine and dandy. Here's all the lady's information. We have a photo of her driver's license. We have her address. We have her insurance company. We have her insurance policy name. We have everything. We were good about getting that information. We gave it all to Hagerty. Now, after going through all this, would it have been a better idea to probably call their insurance company? I guess. Honestly, I don't know where we would have got with that, but I guess. But this is what we were told to do. So at that point, all the information is handed to Hagerty. Have I covered all the questions? No. Someone asked me, why did I have the car towed? Ultimately, why I had the car towed. Ultimately, this is what it boils down to. The wagon has wider tires on the back. I like the way that looks. So it had air shocks on the back so that the tires wouldn't rub. On the rear bumper of that car, where the tag goes, one bolt holds the tag on. The other is not actually the bolt. It's the Schrader valve for the air shocks, which works great to hold the tag on. What it also does is if you get bumped in the rear end, it tends to crack that Schrader valve. It pushes it up and cracks it. So the air was leaking out of my air shocks. In the haste of the moment, what I should have done was just walk over to O'Reilly's and get a new Schrader valve. But I've just been in an accident in a place that I'm 800 miles away from home. Can't get anybody to come out. And let's be honest, I'm not in the best area at this moment. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't want to tear the quarter panels up. I don't want to tear the paint up. Don't want to damage the tires. Again, we've got a lot of miles to make to get home. So I did call a tow truck to get them to load the car up and take it right back to the hotel so that I could process this in my head. I'm not a fast thinker. I got to sit down and think about things. So that's why the car was towed. Now, could it have driven back to the hotel? Probably. But here's the important thing. People keep telling me, well, as soon as they heard you had it towed, it's over with. I've looked at the paperwork Hagerty sent me. I've watched the videos over where I'm on the phone with everybody. It is never mentioned that that car was towed anywhere. I never mentioned anything to them about towing the car. Not that I can find anywhere. Heat of the moment, I don't really remember, but going back and watching the video clips that I have and looking at the paperwork that they sent me, nothing on there is ever mentioned about a tow. So forget about the tow. The tow doesn't matter to the overall bill. My issue with what Hagerty done the entire time was looked at a couple of grainy photos and automatically said that car's totaled. We're estimated damage at $7,000 to fix it. Now everybody gets caught up in, well, what was your agreed upon value? What I'm trying to get people to understand is it does not matter what the agreed upon value was. It doesn't matter if I put $100 million agreed upon value on it. My point is there's not $7,000 worth of damage done to the car. So here's where some new developments have come in. And also at this point, now I'm starting to question if it is Hagerty that is honestly trying to screw us over on this deal, or if it's just this one person that works for Hagerty. Because I've been dealing with this one person, and every time I call, it doesn't matter who I talk to, they tell me since that person is working the case, that's where the case stops. I don't get to talk to anybody else. They won't let me talk to anybody else. If I ask, I am told no. So, I've tried to explain to them that the estimate they gave us has a list of parts that's not even on the car. It has a list of parts that the car never came factory with. It has damages listed that's obviously not damaged on that car at all. But they wouldn't hear it all. You go back and watch the last video where I done that whole Beware Hagerty insurance thing. It's all laid out there. I know people had questions about why some of the things happened the way they did. I hope that answers some of the questions. I'm sure people that are just negative people are going to comment with, oh, yeah, you should have still done this. You should have still done this. Whatever, bro. We're not all as smart as you are. You're the smartest person in the world, and we just all hope to be as good as you one day. So, with all that out of the way, I take the car, I finally talked to them enough where they agree that I can send an estimate from my shop if I want to. But they also tell me they may or may not accept that offer. Because I believe the damages, they estimated $7,000 worth of damage, and I don't believe there's anywhere even remotely there. So what I decided to do was take the car. So we took the wagon. Now keep in mind, they're saying the wagon was totaled, but we drove the wagon another 1,800 miles after this accident. That's beside the point apparently, because nobody's ever actually talked to me from Hagerty and asked me what was damaged. Nobody ever asked me. Nobody ever came looked at the car, and they wouldn't send anybody to look at the car because I asked if they could send somebody. And I was told I could hire somebody if I wanted to, an outside company. But so nobody's ever looked at the car. Now, we drive the car 1,800 miles home after this supposedly totaled. Keep in mind also the thing has a roll-up glass in the tailgate. The glass is down, and if it hit the tailgate that hard, wouldn't it have at least cracked the glass? You know what I'm saying? The glass is perfect. So now I decide that since they've agreed that I can send outside estimates, I'm just going to go to local body shops. No real rhyme or reason. I'm just going to drive around, whoop in there, hey, give me an estimate. Whoop in there, hey, give me an estimate. The most expensive estimate I got, top of the pile and most expensive by a chunk, was $2,500. $2,500, not $7,000, $2,500. And I look at his estimate, and the reason he is the most expensive, most of the shops, if you take out this one thing, most of the shops would have all been about the same. Where the difference comes in the price of the shop is the markup they have on parts. And this one shop has a 40% markup on the parts. So that 40% markup is why that estimate is so high. But even with that markup on parts, that's still, man, what is that? That's a third? Let's see, 25 and 25 is 5. So, yeah, that's almost a third of what Hagerty estimates the damage is. Here's where it gets good. So I talked to this body shop, the one that gave us the most expensive estimate. He had some questions about their estimate. He dug deeper than all the others had. He calls Hagerty. Gets to talk to a completely different person. I know this because he kept referring to the person he's talking to as as he or him or whatever, where I know I've been dealing with a woman. So he says he talked to the guy, went over the estimate with the guy, and the guy 100% agreed that the estimate that Hagerty gave was absolutely ridiculous, that there was nowhere near that kind of damage done to that car. The guy at Hagerty agreed that the estimate was ridiculous. So now he's sent over his quote to Hagerty. All that's done and well and whatever. The lady that I've been dealing with is still emailing me going, I thought you was going to send me some more estimates because my estimate was wrong. And I replied to the email because she won't even call me anymore. I replied to the email. The body shop sent estimates over. Nope, haven't got anything. Nah, lady, I know for a fact the estimate that they've talked to somebody and the estimate's been sent over. We haven't got anything. You need to make sure they send the estimate to my email address. So now I'm starting to wonder if it's an issue with Hagerty or if it's just an issue with this one employee at Hagerty. I don't know. There's two possible scenarios here. The two possible scenarios here are, one, it's just this lady at Hagerty that's causing all the grief and all the heartache, and she is an issue. Or two, this is the way Hagerty does people, and now they're talking to somebody different, so now they're playing, CYA, cover your ass, and they're trying to pretend like, oh yeah, that estimate's completely hogwash. We'll fix we'll fix the estimate. We'll we'll get all this straightened out. We don't know what was going on with that estimate. They're just playing all this play dumb kind of thing to cover their own butts now. And it really was a Hagerty issue. I'm not sure which one it is. I like to give places benefits of a doubt, and there's a lot of people that's had good luck with Hagerty. So I would like to say that in this case, it's a one employee that is really dragging the whole issue down right now. I don't know, but that's what I'd like to say right now. It's not a Hagerty issue, it's this employee issue. Now keep in mind, as I said earlier, I have called Hagerty multiple times, at least 3 times in one day when that lady tried to tell me the car was totaled. I called Hagerty 3 times. 3 different people answered the phone, and all 3 of them I said, I need to speak with somebody that is in charge so that we can talk about this. What's your name? They went through this whole thing. They said, oh, well, she's the agent in charge of this. Well, I understand she's the one I've been talking to, but can I talk to anyone else? And no, she's the one you have to talk to. There's nobody else you can talk to. Can I talk to somebody over her? No, this is the person you have to talk to. No one would let me speak to anyone other than this lady. So all the grief that I've put up with and had to deal with all come from the one lady because they won't let me speak to anybody else. Is it possible that this is the way the company treats people and now they're trying to use her as an scapegoat and pretend like it's just her? That's possible too. I don't know which one it's going. I don't know what's going on right now. All I know is after I started sending in estimates or getting body shops to send in estimates, all of a sudden now it's, oh, yeah, we don't know what was going on with this estimate. We agree that this estimate is completely absurd, that there was never this, no, there's not this much damage to this car. We don't know where this estimate came from. We don't know what this is. And now they're all pretending like, oh, this is the craziest thing we've ever seen, So I don't know what's going on. I really don't. And I don't know how all this is going to play out. We will see how this whole ordeal unfolds. Now, since body shops have been sending in their estimates, and their estimates are, the most expensive one is still a third less than what their estimates are, I'm hoping that resolves this whole situation. I'm hoping after this, everything just moves forward and we don't have to worry about anything else anymore. I don't know how this situation is going to play out yet. Because, again, this one lady that I talked to, when she said I could get other estimates, she said we will review them and we may or may not accept them. So, who knows? What I do know is I've got estimates as low as $1,800 and as high as $2,500 from $1,800 to $2,500. Their estimate to fix the car was $7,000. So there's obviously something fishy going on there, something wildly exaggerated going on there. And listen, if this is all an honest mistake on Hagerty's part, so be it. They could simply fix it by having people come out and look at the cars. That's all it would take. All it would take is for them to go, you know what, we'll have somebody come out and look at the car tomorrow. No problem, buddy, come on. I've never been involved in any kind of accident. I don't know what the protocols are supposed to be. I simply went by, called the police. The police told me what to do. I called the insurance company. The insurance company said, that's exactly right. That's how you're supposed to do it. And I done it that way. That's why things were done the way they were done. Honestly and truly. It just boiled down to that. I know people don't like that answer. People want some big drawn out thing, but that's why it was done that way. Everybody's on here offering all kind of, you should have done this, you should have done that. That's not how you do this. That's not how you do it. Oh, if it was really this, you'd have done that. I done what I was told to do. Simple as that. In hindsight, what I should have done when they said we're in no fault state is I should have just got in the car and left, is what I should have done. Said to hell with it, I'll fix the dent when I get home. But here we are, we're in this situation now. So now we got to get out of this situation. And the point of my whole thing with Hagerty is to let people that have, like me, that have never been through anything like this before, know that it is a problem. It is a hassle. It is a nightmare to deal with all this. So that's where I'm at. That's where the whole situation is. Hopefully this clears up some questions that people have had. Hopefully that clears up some of the confusion. If not, I don't know what else to say. But it looks like as long as they actually accept the outside estimates, it looks like we'll be able to settle all this out just fine. That it's going to work out fine. It's just a bigger hassle than it should be. That is if they accept it, because again, the lady said if you send the estimates over, we may or may not accept them, but we will review them. So who knows how long that's going to take. We've been dragging this out for a while now. At this point in time, I mean, we still drive the wagon. We're still enjoying the wagon. It is what it is. So wanted to give everybody an update just because that was a hot topic. God bless you guys. Hope the Lord bless you more today than He did yesterday. To Him be the glory. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. And hey, keep in mind that we are going to do a giveaway on a truck. It is absolutely free. There's nothing to enter. There's nothing to enter. There's nothing to buy ever. There's nothing to do. Go back and watch the last video I posted about giving away our F100, our 67 F100. You will see all the information in that video, and hopefully when it's done, one of you guys end up with it. We'll see y'all guys. We'll see y'all on the next one.
I'd say it's a nut job.